everyone, welcome back to Callie and Beans Books. I'm Brittany and it's time for my monthly book corner. First one as a married lady. I'm so excited. Everything was exactly what I hoped for and I'm super thankful for Callie and Bean helping to capture the day with some videos and pictures and the beautiful montage that was put together. I truly appreciate it. I watched it this morning and everything looked great and I am so happy. Everything was amazing and like I figured, I didn't really have a lot of time to read. I did listen to a couple of audiobooks, so I'll jump into those, and I have a couple of stacks of books here for my floating TBR for the next couple of months now that I have time to jump back into reading, which I'm super excited about. So I did purchase one book and it was off of Facebook Marketplace and I probably overpaid for it, but I finally have my very own copy of A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. So I borrowed it last year from Callison and I have the second two with paperback, so I wanted this one in paperback. Well, after the cover releases for the new covers, I haven't been able to find this book anywhere. I wanted this specific cover and it has been awful trying to find it. So when I finally found it on Facebook Marketplace, I jumped on it. Probably overpaid, but it's fine. It's mine. It is beautiful and I'm very excited about it. I did finish my reread of the series by listening to it on Audible. Truly adore this series, and I did jump into A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas through Audible. Oh boy, was this book a ride. Listening to it, it definitely gives a different perspective than if I were to sit down and read it. I feel like if I would have waited and tried to read it, it would have just been back and forth and I wouldn't have been able to actually embrace the full story. We are set up to despise Nesta, like we are when we read ACOTAR and throughout that series from Farrah's point of view. I will say I disagree with a lot of people with their view of Rhys. A lot of people just don't like him. I really didn't pick up on that. Maybe it was different listening to the story, but I really didn't pick up on the we hate Rhys vibe now, because if you really embrace the story, you understand where Rhys is coming from with his overprotection of Farrah and why he feels the way he does towards Nesta. And it's not because he just hates her outright, it's because he's trying to protect who he loves. So I get it. And we're also seeing more of the Night Court side of him, where we're not necessarily seeing that from Farrah's point of view. It's a give and take with them, and I absolutely adored it. Like, I think it was perfectly done. Definitely give this story a 5 out of 5. That's just who I am as a person. I probably will be shocked if I dislike anything that comes from the ACOTAR world at this point. But overall, I laughed, I cried, I cringed. Everything was perfect with this story. The cringing was more of certain details that I can't get into. If you are interested in the parts that I cringed at, it's more of the spoiler part of the story, so definitely feel free to ask in the comments or a private message. I'll gladly explain where my thoughts are coming from. Overall, this story was so well done and everything I needed when it comes to Nesta and Cassian. So I'm very happy. I look forward to the rest of the world that Sarah J. Maas is building when it comes to ACOTAR, and hopefully the rest of the year I have time to jump back into Throne of Glass and read more of her other stories instead of just focusing all on ACOTAR. I was looking through the Audible Plus, which are audiobooks that are included within the membership, and found Splintered by A.G. Howard, and it's an Alice in Wonderland retelling. I'm not a huge Alice in Wonderland fan, but I did really enjoy this story. It was interesting, the different take on it, and overall I did enjoy listening to the story. There were moments that I just did not like. Overall, I'd give it a 3.5 out of 5. The narration was amazing and really well done. I think the characters were okay. You can definitely tell it was written in 2013 because the tropes are there, very YA tropey. I don't think mental illness was portrayed appropriately. It felt very cliche 1950s instead of present day where the story takes place. So it was just very back and forth. But overall, I did enjoy the story. I did enjoy the twist of Alice in Wonderland, and the reveals came at the exact time. There were moments where I felt like the story was drawn out, where it could have ended, and it kept going. Not bad for a free audiobook. I probably won't finish the series just because I don't have that big of an investment in it. It's a trilogy, and then I think there's like a spin-off and a bunch of novellas that go along with it, and I'm just not that invested. So I'll probably stick to other books that I'm more interested in. But overall, it wasn't a bad read to get me to and from work the last couple of days. So now I'm going to jump into my massive TBR pile that I have sitting next to me. The first book I want to mention is Beach Read by Emily Henry. I also have a couple of companion novels that I want to go through. I have Tools of Engagement by Tessa Bailey. This goes back to Fix Her Up. Really enjoyed the first two, so I look forward to jumping into this story. Another one is First Comes Like by Alisha Ray. This goes along with the Right Swipe trilogy. I really love the Right Swipe. Girl Gone Viral was okay, so I'm hoping that I enjoyed this story. And this one will probably be more fall related. I'm looking further down, getting back into football. I'm really excited. Of course, that's Blitzed by Alexa Martin. This is the third one in her NFL series, and I hope to get to this here shortly, but it'll probably be closer to football season. Next, I have a couple of books going back to YA fantasy. I'm borrowing this one from Callie, A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair, and I don't know much about it, but if it's recommended by Callie and she thinks I like it, I probably will, because she hasn't steered me wrong before. I know I've been saying this on and off for a couple of weeks now, but I truly do think I'm going to jump back into From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I am starting to really enjoy the part where I'm at, and I've heard that I can just skim it to the end and it'll all make sense. So I'll probably jump back into this book. The next book I've had on my shelf for quite a while as well. I've heard some really fun things about it, so I do want to jump into it. And that is Warrior of the Wild by Tricia Levenseller. And then I do want to finish Siege and Storm, as well as Ruin and Rising. And these, of course, are follow-ups to Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. So hopefully I can get to those as well. Like I said, guys, I have a large stack of books that I've been neglecting since April. So hopefully I can get back into reading. I'm looking forward to the books that I've picked out. But of course, things happen. I'll probably pick up something random here that'll catch my eye and go from there. So I look forward to sharing with you my thoughts and getting back into reading. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We post new videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and some Sundays. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Goodreads. All of our joint and individual accounts will be in the description below. Until next time, bye.